Hi everybody, it's Thursday and next to the last day of July, a month that for a whole lot of reasons, a whole lot of folks, some with much better reasons than others, that we're going to look forward to saying goodbye to, I believe. And the way we're bringing in August, well, we can only hope for more of the same. Thank you for tuning in and spending a little time on the program tonight. I spent a lot of time today at the Johnson County Animal Shelter, Whiskers or Wags, and I'm going to leave you with a whole lot of ways that you can very easily get that real good feeling that we all love to get and have. Now, that's even if you're an animal lover or not. Very simple, easy way that you can really help out. And when you see what they've got their hands full with at this particular time, and some of the cute little faces I'm going to show you, I think a lot of folks are going to be making their way to Shelter Way off of 460. That and an auto accident last night knocked out power briefly, just for a flash, for a lot of residents in the downtown Sagersville area, but for some a little longer than that, and an arrest that took place afterwards, a DUI arrest, to put it mildly. We'll talk about that in much more detail in just a few moments. A few other reports before we get to those headlines. I'm waiting, and possibly before I leave you, I'm just literally sliding into behind the desk, but we are waiting to hear more about the identity of the death that has taken place. We know that an individual has been killed in Pike County. It is a homicide investigation, and it is in the Mouthcard community. Police are getting ready to release some information. I'm just in. We hope to have the identity and some details around what appears to be the latest murder in eastern Kentucky in just a few moments. And we've already reported on a few scams that pertain to, of course, the flood relief and efforts of recovery in Johnson County. But now the Attorney General, Jack Conway of Kentucky, is weighing in on the subject, warning people of flood victims, mind you, of potential scams. Specifically this time, those that are often referred to as travelers. Conway continues to urge victims of the recent storms to be aware, he says, of potential con artists, as there have been many documented over the years with any type of natural disaster, and now in Johnson County, that may be trying to prey on flood victims in their time of need. Some concerns of travelers, as they're referred to, are being reported in the Johnson County area. I'll talk more about it tomorrow. And consumers are encouraged to be very aware and wary of any door-to-door contractor who comes knocking on your door offering services. Often those solicitors are fly-by-night contractors or other storm repair companies which may converge upon the area, all in an effort to just take advantage of the storm victim's situation. Conway says that unfortunately it is often difficult to make informed decisions when disaster strikes. Time of need is immediate. He says these situations create an environment for fraud, and victims are especially vulnerable to storm chasers and travelers offering services to those whose homes have been damaged. Often it results in just shoddy construction, price gouging, scams, impersonating officials even, and taking money without doing the work or not completing the work. And it happens far too often, almost each and every time that we see a natural disaster of sorts. So that is the warning to our friends in Johnson County as of this evening. A whole lot of advice that we'll share with you, I'm sure, and a lot of it is common sense, but basically anyone from out of the area you need to certainly vet and do some checking on. Well, tomorrow I know at least one place I will be. It will be at Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, who are pleased to announce that they'll be holding their grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony for its newly constructed dealership just next door to Hutch Chevrolet, of course, over in Paintsville. 11:30 tomorrow morning. They will have some light food and refreshments following the ceremony, and it's going to be their pleasure to officially open, even though they've been selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram vehicles for months now. Their new facility is indeed gorgeous. You're invited to come and be a part of it and take a look at an inventory. I saw a few things that I'd love to take a ride off in myself while there today. But ribbon cutting ceremony tomorrow on the grounds of the Hutch family of dealerships, which is proudly serving eastern Kentucky with 9 acres of inventory and now 7 new car franchises, all in that one location. Once again, 11:30 tomorrow. I'll take you to the animal shelter in Johnson County in just a few moments, and as I said earlier, it's all about how you can very easily get that good feeling, that warm feeling inside, by helping out some furry friends.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
I spent some time at Whiskers or Wags today. I've spoken about it several times on the program. We've been following their efforts, and we are talking with them now because they have seen, well, an overwhelming response. And that's a good thing, but the one that I'm talking about tonight is not on the volunteer side, but on the need side. Hannah Goldberg is the manager. They opened on July the 1st, and of course, just a few short weeks later, torrential and 500-year flooding happened in a big portion of Johnson County, around 8 miles or so of flat gap on 172. They started off with a mere dozen or so dogs, couple of dozen or so cats, but in the short 4 weeks that they have been in existence, they have seen several flood victims, if you will, and an overwhelming amount of animals come in, with some flooding-related animals still trickling in small numbers at this time. Some are being reunited, some are being adopted, but there is more coming in than are going out and finding new homes.
In the first week or so, we got 15 to 20 dogs, and now we're up to 82. And cats, we went from about the same 15 to 20, and now we're up to in the 70s with cats.
Where does that put you at capacity and ability wise?
We are at double capacity for both cats and dogs. That obviously makes it harder on the volunteers, you know, because we need tons of volunteers to come and help, because that's double the number of animals that you have to clean and keep bathed and keep healthy and keep their areas clean. They have to have a safe, clean place to live.
And after all of that, of course, the ultimate goal is to see that each and every adorable face gets a new home. Something that happened for at least 3 very lucky new pet owners today.
Yes, we actually had 3 reunited today. We had 2 flood victims and just a dog that had been lost. It broke loose, and we got it up here, and they found it. Our animal control officer, you know, he'll bring in the strays that get called in to him, obviously. He'll bring them in, depending on dog or cat. You know, they have different way to intake them. But we intake them, we get them food, water, we get them flea treated, wormed, and vaccinated as they come through the door. They're well taken care of. We need to find them homes.
And how do you have to work to try to find them homes?
Well, we're largely working through Facebook right now, but we do have our website, which is wowanimalshelter.org, and you can find them on there as well.
And they graciously accept help any way they can get it. Volunteers, donations of food, money to pay for veterinarian bills and services, as well as reaching out through the internet, which has proven to be a big assistance. They've even found homes for pets as far away as Canada. Yes, Canada. One of the lucky pups I met today was on his way to Canada. How's he getting there, you ask? Well, with a whole lot of volunteer help in between.
We have rescues from all over creation, obviously, that are pulling dogs and helping us out to get them homes. It may be farther away, but at least they're going to good homes.
I mean, how do they search for them? How does that even happen?
We have people that contact these rescues for us, and sometimes the rescues contact us, and they have waiting lists for certain animals and people who want these animals from very far away, and we can provide that. A lot of times it's done in division, you know, like there'll be somebody who'll take it so far, and then they'll meet somebody, they'll take it another little bit, and then it'll eventually make its way where it's going to go.
And that's volunteers, I'm assuming?
Yes. A lot is based on volunteer work when it comes to the animal shelter business. Whether that's transport to the vet, whether that's transport to another rescue, or a halfway point to another rescue, or even like the event we're doing this Saturday, we're going to need, all the cats transported to Tractor Supply. So it's plus the actual taking care of the animals. If we don't get volunteers up here, it's hard to take care of, 80 dogs and 70 cats.
And if all of this cuteness is getting to you and you feel the need to fill maybe a little gap in your life and help out a furry friend at the same time who may be feeling the same way, you can stop by the animal shelter any day. I'll give you their hours and location in just a few minutes. But to make it even easier and even more affordable, and it's never really expensive, they've got a special adoption event slated for later this week.
We have an adoption event this Saturday at the Paintsville Tractor Supply from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're going to have cats and kittens on site available for adoption that day. And we actually have a sale going on as far as those cats and kittens. All black kittens and adult cats 6 months or older are going to be sponsored, which basically means that they're free, but we ask if you could donate, you know, bag of cat food, bag of cat litter, something to the shelter. Any other cat or kitten is going to be reduced to $25 adoption fee, and that covers their spay or neuter, that covers their vaccines, their wormer, everything. We obviously have to vet every animal that comes through, which is expensive as it is, let alone if we get an injured animal or you know, an animal gets sick, it's that much more. Plus the spay and neuter, you know, we're barely breaking even with the adoption fee that we're charging. So plus you have to consider the things that normal people don't consider, like our electric bill, our water bill, you know, the things that people don't think about. That's also going to be a big expense.
They're open Tuesday through Friday, 9:30 to 2:30, and then on Saturdays from 10 to 3. Now, that event, the adoption event at Tractor Supply, once again, is this Saturday from 9 till 5. They're graciously giving them space, I think, inside even to bring the animals. You can stop by between, if you're going to or from Sayersville to Paintsville or vice versa, you can stop by, give them a few dollars. If you're in a store, pick up a bag of food, some treats. There are all sorts of ways you can help. I was there today, and a volunteer had just come back from taking 3 pets to the vet to be treated, and then someone's going to have to bring them back. You can be a transporter in that form or fashion. They've seen a lot of donations of food and water and some other supplies during the flooding, but that's all going to run out very, very soon. Cleaning supplies, another big need. Now, here's where they are. I passed it twice. Going to Paintsville, this long straight stretch after you go down what we all call the Pepsi Plant Hill, over to your right, you'll see a gravel path. They don't have their sign out next to the road. You have to look for the road sign, appropriately named Shelter Way. Pull it up that lane, and at the very end, you'll find the shelter and all sorts of ways that you can help a whole lot of furry friends. Maybe even bring one home. And the phone number, by the way, pretty easy to remember, 297-PETS.
Going on to tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau sponsored community calendar. I don't have it typed in, so I'm just going to scan through a few, and they're also not going to be in chronological order, I do fear, but a reminder about a few things. First, that the Sayersville Fire Department is having that nighttime fishing tournament this Friday night starting at 7 p.m. on the Paintsville Lake, runs to 1 a.m., $1,000 guaranteed payout, and with the boats entering, might even take home a little more than that. 791-3256 to call Paul Howard. A reminder from North McGoffin Elementary, their site-based council meets in regular session the second Wednesday of each month at 4:30 in the conference room. A little later on down the line, but I'll just remind you, so you can go ahead and mark it on your calendar, that public meeting that's going to be held for a comment period on the McGoffin County Public Library's proposed demolition of the old Sayersville First Baptist Church. That is the 5th of August, and that is next week. I'm looking at the calendar. You caught me, 9 till 3 next week. I'll remind you about that early next week as well. Before that, though, this Saturday, and this is going to be a really great show. It's going to start at 7. The doors will open at 6 at the McGoffin County Health Department as the Kentucky Humanities Council is presenting Robert Brock as American icon Mark Twain, a performance this Saturday at 7, sponsored by our local Civil War Committee and the Sayersville Kiwanis Club. Get there, get a good seat. It is free, and it promises to be a great, great evening. I think that's it for calendar announcements for this evening, with the exception of one birthday. We'll get to that, and I do believe we have just in a funeral service announcement for the viewing area.
This birthday, with the accompanying picture, says, to a very special lady, my mom, from, you know who from. Happy birthday, Connie Arnott. They love you lots. Wish you many, many more. Love Ellery, Mom, Barbara, Lou, that is, children, all your grandchildren, a whole lot of family, and a whole lot of friends, and we, too, will chime in on that as well. Happy birthday, Connie, today, July the 30th, and you'll be noticing that I didn't tell your age. You're welcome. And our final announcement for this Thursday comes on behalf of the McGoffin County Funeral Home, who has sent me a partial listing for services which are still being arranged in honor of 69-year-old Roger Howard of New Paintsville Road. He passed away on today's date. Arrangements are still being made by the family and will be announced soon by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
A little forgiveness in your forecast. Glad to talk about that. But first, though, an auto accident that resulted in an arrest last night just outside of Sagersville here in McGoffin County. It also resulted in a power outage for several individuals. A large SUV struck a utility pole, and then after an investigation by the Kentucky State Police, the driver, who was first refused to be taken into the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, was first taken to an area hospital.
It caused the electricity to flicker in much of Sagersville, and for residents of 22 Mile Branch, their electricity was out for a significant amount of time. It was after a Ford Expedition went off of the opposite or left side of the roadway and then struck a utility pole. The occupant, a female driver, still inside upon arrival of emergency personnel who had to thoroughly investigate the situation to make sure that downed utility lines were not an issue. The electric lines were still well above the vehicle. There were utility lines on the vehicle, but those deemed to be telephone, cable, utility lines of that nature. She was still in the vehicle but removed by emergency personnel upon their arrival. Now, by either getting a copy of the Kentucky State Police arrest citation, talking to local law enforcement and others on scene, we have altogether gathered that the vehicle's driver was 41-year-old Michelle Whitley, who lives in this portion and on this road in McGoffin County. She refused medical treatment at the scene. However, Kentucky State Police Trooper Zach Haney, who responded to the incident, took her into custody after she refused to take a field sobriety test, unable to actually do so. However, eyewitnesses saw that a portable or field breathalyzer test given on the scene indicated that she blew a .307, well more than 3 times the legal limit. She was arrested for DUI, a second offense, no registration receipt, possession of an open alcoholic beverage container, which was said to have been a fifth of vodka, also disorderly conduct as well for an incident that took place in the back of the cruiser between the scene and the jail facility. Also part of the investigation were 2 open pill bottles that had been prescribed 2 days prior, one with around 3 pills left, which originally had 15, one with about 10 pills, which originally had 200 prescription pills, pain medication, we believe. That too part of the investigation by the Kentucky State Police and Jack Haney. She was first taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, who refused to accept her based on her intoxication level. She was taken to the Paul B. Hall Medical Center and then cleared and then lodged in the Big Sandy Jail, where she still remained as of airtime. Now to wrap it up this evening with your Licking Valley RECC forecast. Well, here's how it's shaping up. I clocked near 90 degrees here at the newsroom earlier today. This was the last hot one for a while and wasn't as hot as yesterday. We'll fall back to the tune of around 60 degrees, one of the more mild evenings that we've had as of late. We'll do so under mostly clear skies with a little patchy fog, I do believe, say after 2 a.m. But otherwise clear, maybe a northwest wind around 6 miles per hour, which is becoming calm as the evening progresses. But here at the 6 o'clock hour, it is just gorgeous outside and will continue to be so for the next several days. Friday, we'll see a much more comfortable 87-degree high. Humidity levels will also follow suit and be much more favorable. And look, about 10 degrees taking off nighttime lows for the next few days. Another nighttime low of 60. A little fog in the a.m., but sunshine and mostly clear skies late to finish up a beautiful Friday forecast. Saturday says 85 after a little a.m. fog. Still more sunshine above, still mostly clear skies late, and another nighttime low in the 60s. Another comfortable night ahead. And the latter half of the weekend, just as nice. I mean, we're talking about the mid-80s again on your Sunday, more sunshine. The biggest hiccup in the entire forecast for your weekend is partly cloudy skies late Sunday night. This trend also starts well into next week. The luck doesn't run out just as of yet. Monday, I think we'll see more sunshine, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures will increase up to about 87, maybe 88 degrees, but still clear and calm and dry and not quite as humid. Temperatures on Monday, once again, 87, mostly sunny, partly cloudy late. We do see, working its way back into the forecast, by Tuesday of next week, the first sign or hint of some showers and possible thunderstorms. But still in the mid, maybe upper 80s, but still sunshine above, albeit Tuesday with a 40% threat. Now that will be the scenario from thereafter throughout much of next week with a slight threat of showers and thunderstorms each and every day, at least through Thursday. That's as far as my forecast goes, as far as I want to go. The good news is beautiful weather. Next several days should be just absolutely perfect. We hope you get time to get out and enjoy it, or maybe get caught up on some yard work, or whatever you have to do, and especially maybe volunteer a little time over at the Whiskers or Wags Animal Shelter in Johnson County, and of course volunteers still greatly needed in Johnson County at the Flood Distribution Center, and a whole lot of other efforts that are still ongoing. We'll be talking about that, of course, and other news that you'll only see here tomorrow night.
One more day and another week done, and another month this time around. Be sure and join us tomorrow for more of your news today. As always, thank you for being a part of the show.